The following video is for educational purposes only. Cryptocurrency carries risk. Nothing in this video is financial advice. Always do your own research. You're not here by accident. You're here because something inside you knows. This system is shifting. And if you're paying attention right now, this might be your last clean window before it breaks wide open. In the last week, global M2 hit a record-breaking $18.4 trillion. Let that sink in. This is one of the most explosive moves in liquidity we've seen in years, and almost nobody's talking about it. Because while the masses are distracted by tariffs, politics, and delays, smart money is already moving, positioning, accumulating, preparing for the next phase of the cycle. So let's start at the root. What is M2? It's not some complicated macro term. It's just money, cash, checking deposits, liquid funds, money that's ready to move. You can think of it like the stablecoin market cap of the traditional financial world. And right now, that number is exploding. China's M2 money supply alone, over 326 trillion yuan, around $45 trillion USD. That kind of capital surge doesn't just sit still. It trickles, it leaks, and eventually, it pours into the places that move the fastest. And no market on Earth moves faster than crypto. This isn't a conspiracy. This is a cycle. We are entering what many macro analysts call a global liquidity expansion. A 4-year rhythm, a heartbeat of the modern economy. And we are now entering its next breath. Which means what happens next won't just affect Bitcoin. It will awaken the entire altcoin ecosystem. Here's the historical pattern. Global M2 rises. Then Bitcoin follows. Then altcoins ignite. The last time we saw M2 spike like this, Bitcoin went parabolic. Altcoins multiplied, and wealth changed hands at a scale that left most people speechless. This time, the setup is even bigger, because now, the AI narrative is here. Tokenized assets are here, stablecoin regulation is almost here, and institutional players are circling. But don't just take my word for it. Look at the alignment. The Federal Reserve is softening its tone. Chair Jerome Powell recently hinted that crypto regulation will loosen as the sector matures. That's not noise, that's positioning. Banks haven't engaged because of restrictions, but if those ease, that's the floodgate. And guess what's behind that gate? Stablecoins. Over $230 billion in circulating value, the literal backbone of crypto. And it's just waiting for rails. Here's where it gets wild. 2 major bills are being debated in the US. One focused on stablecoin clarity, one on crypto market structure. If they pass, tech giants like Apple, Google, Facebook, they're not going to ask permission. They're going to activate wallets, instantly, across billions of users. Because now they legally can. They won't do it because they believe in decentralization. They'll do it because stablecoins remove the credit card fees. Because it's cheaper. Because it's profitable. Because their users are already plugged in. Now let's connect the dots. Global M2 is breaking records. China's liquidity is flooding faster than ever. The Fed is softening. Regulatory clarity is close. Tech giants are on standby. Bitcoin is consolidating. Altcoins are undervalued. Fear is still in the air. This is the moment smart money loves. When the signals are strong, but the crowd is still asleep. When accumulation happens quietly, while everyone else is watching the headlines. Let's talk charts. Right now, Bitcoin is still holding inside its historic ascending channel. Each time it's broken above that channel, alt season has ignited. We saw it in 2017. We saw it again in 2021. And the signs are forming again. Dominance breaking down. DXY weakening. Liquidity expanding. It's a symphony. And the next movement is building. But it's not just about macro theory. It's about smart money. In the last 24 hours alone, over 38,000 Bitcoin moved into long-term accumulation wallets. In total, over 65,000 Bitcoin scooped while price dipped. On-chain data shows funds flowing off exchanges. Net outflows of 47,000 BTC in the last week alone. This is not distribution. This is storage. This is conviction. While retail hesitates, institutions are loading the clip. Fear and greed index, still sitting in the fear zone. That's the paradox. Retail feels uncertain. Meanwhile, wallets are consolidating. Stablecoin inflows are growing, and narratives are sharpening. So now, let's talk altcoins. Because when the M2 liquidity hits, it doesn't all flow into BTC. It leaks into narratives. It follows stories. It amplifies belief. And the coins positioned in front of those narratives? They don't just rise, they explode. So here are 4 altcoins that are not just hyped, but are aligned with the most powerful macro tailwinds we've seen this cycle. First up, Hedera, HBAR. You've heard the name, but most are missing the depth. Hedera is building for real-world asset tokenization. Private networks that remain permissioned, but connect back to the public chain. They've joined the ERC-3643 Association, partnered with Dell Technologies for auditable infrastructure data, and recently onboarded Hitachi to their governing council. This isn't just crypto noise. This is institutional scaffolding. They're building the rails for regulated enterprises, with trusted data, AI integrations, and global alliances. In the coming wave, projects like Hedera won't just benefit, they may be core infrastructure. Altcoin 2, Render, RNDR. Render isn't just an AI play, it's the AI play. They just held RenderCon 2025 in Hollywood, featuring keynotes from founders and strategic allies like NVIDIA. The US has committed over $500 billion toward AI and GPU manufacturing. Render is perfectly placed at the intersection of compute, graphics, and decentralization. They've passed major governance proposals to expand support for AI workflows, and their decentralized GPU network is gaining serious traction. With the US backing AI onshore, Render becomes more than a token. It becomes a pipeline. Third, Ondo. If you're looking for the bridge between DeFi and traditional finance, Ondo might be it. They've partnered with MasterCard's multi-token network to bring tokenized treasuries on-chain. They've formed partnerships with legacy players like Morgan Stanley, Franklin Templeton, and BlackRock. Yes, BlackRock. And they've launched the Ondo chain, designed for institutional settlement. In a world where stablecoins and real-world assets are becoming the next frontier, Ondo is sitting at the intersection. It's DeFi infrastructure for Wall Street, before Wall Street even admits it. Last but never least, Chainlink. Chainlink has been quiet, too quiet. But under the surface, they've been building like never before. Q1 2025, 37 new blockchains integrated, 77 new data streams deployed, smart contract value recapture mechanisms added, self-serve, CCIP token onboarding unlocked. Sergey Nazarov is now in the room with policymakers. White House meetings, blockchain summits, shaping legislation. Link is at the core of multi-chain interoperability, data validation, and institutional-grade oracles. $20 trillion in value secured, and the narrative is only beginning to catch up. When regulation hits, Link might not just ride the wave, it might be the wave. So now, let's take a breath, zoom out, because this isn't just about M2 or Bitcoin or a few altcoins. This is about the alignment of forces, more money in the system than ever before. A friendlier Fed, regulation on the horizon, tech giants ready to onboard, smart money accumulating, and retail still sitting in fear. This is the part of the cycle that rewards clarity. This is when positioning pays off. So ask yourself, are you listening to the noise or following the signal? Are you waiting for permission or preparing with precision? Because when the liquidity wave hits, there won't be time to learn. There will only be time to act. You weren't wrong to believe in crypto. You just have to move smarter this time, with strategy, with calm, with confidence. Because this next wave won't reward hype. It will reward awareness. So stay sharp, stay early, follow the signal. This is Block Matrix, and you are now in position.